If you're thinking of purchasing or upgrading to the new 21.5-inch iMac, then this video is for you. I'm Mark Brown for Editor's Keys, and this is the iMac review and iMac speed test. Okay, so let's dip right in and look at some of the new features.
The new iMac features a beautiful 21.5-inch Full HD screen, as well as a handy SD card slot for transferring audio and video files. The back is now full aluminium and contains one extra USB port, a FireWire 800 port and mini DisplayPort. A wireless keyboard now comes as standard, and although it may look the same, it only uses 2 AA batteries and much less power than before. The mouse is the biggest change. It's now a full multi-touch mouse, which means it's great for flicking through websites and photos. However, you do lose the top and side buttons for accessing Expose, which was one of my favourite features of the previous old mouse.
But you know, the question I get asked most of all is, Mark, will this actually be any faster than my current iMac or current Mac setup? Well, luckily for you, what I have here is 2 iMacs, one of the previous 2 GHz generation and the new 21.5-inch generation, which have both the exact same files. They both have the exact same amount of memory used. This is one of the older Macs, which has a 2 GHz processor with 4 GB of RAM, and the new 21.5-inch iMac has a 3.33 GHz processor and 8 GB of RAM, so there should be some massive speed increases here. But what we'll do is we'll shut the computers down and we'll do a boot up test and we'll start some of the applications. So let's go. Okay, so we're now going to do the boot up test. I'm going to start both machines up at the same time and then start the iPhone timer so you can see exactly how fast each machine is. On the right hand side we have the 3.33 21.5-inch GHz iMac. On the left we have the older 2 GHz Mac. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the newer iMac started up a little bit faster. It's already beat the older iMac, it's already on the Apple screen. The older 2 GHz has now got to the Apple screen. As you can see, there's quite a big difference in screen clarity. We're 23 seconds in. Both loading the boot up screens at the moment, and the new iMac looks like it's about to start. And there we go, it's finished at 34 seconds. The older iMac is still booting up. So 34 seconds was the speed of the new iMac. The older iMac is still going, nearly there. Look at this, still loading up. You can't quite see it, but it's still loading up the toolbars in the top. There we go, and it's done. 1 minute 6 seconds is where we're going to stop it. 1 minute 6 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to test out the running speeds of the new iMacs by running some programs in real-world tests. So we're going to open Adobe Photoshop CS4 for the first time on both Macs at the same time. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. The new iMac has already loaded the boot screen of Photoshop CS4, slowly behind the older iMac. There we go. And it's loaded up Photoshop CS4 already. Still waiting on the old iMac. It's initializing the type tool and we're done. So as you can see, it's quite a bit faster on the new Mac. Next, we're going to try out Microsoft Word. Opening up Microsoft Word is quite slow on my old iMac. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. They're both bouncing away there. Microsoft Word has opened first on there. It's come up to the boot screen. Just loaded up there. I'm going to hit enter on both computers. And there we have it. You can see clearly there that the new iMac is quite a bit faster. Obviously, if you just use Word, a few seconds aren't going to really make much of a difference to you. Okay, so the next test is going to be with internet browsers. How fast will Safari open on both of these Macs? Let's test it out. I'll open them up. in 1, 2, 3. Safari there, much faster on the new iMac. It's already rendered the page. On the older iMac there, you can see that it's slightly slower at rendering. Let's close these down, and then we'll try Firefox. It's the latest version of Firefox. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Firefox already open on the new iMac, and it's already rendered the Editor's Keys website. We're both on the same internet connection here, and the older iMac has just done it, just behind. But even from the video here, you might be able to see a slight difference in the quality of the screen. If you look at the Editor's Keys on the right-hand side, you'll see that the blacks are much darker, the whites are much whiter, whereas on the left-hand screen, to me here, the black-grey background is slightly overexposed. The white is definitely more overexposed, and there's not much colour detail or colour depth compared to the new iMac. So I hope that little test there has given you some insight and ideas into how the new iMac might help speed up your own workflow. Okay, so should you buy or upgrade to this new iMac? Well, if you're a heavy user, such as a Photoshop user, a Final Cut user, or someone who creates audio or music, I would say yes, there's some massive speed increasements here to be had compared to the previous model. The screen is much better, so if you're editing video or creating Photoshop documents, this screen will really come into its own. And I mean, it looks amazing. However, if you're a Word user or an internet user and just use your emails every now and again, I'd say stick with what you've got. This machine is great. If you don't already own a Mac, go out and buy this now. It's amazing. But the previous model's not too dissimilar, you know. It's still got a good screen, it's still fast. I mean, this is only the 2.0 gigahertz version. There were some 2.1s and 2.16s and some even 2.4s out there. So, you know, if you're thinking of getting it and just using the internet, maybe take a look on sites like eBay and get a used one. So that's my conclusion. If you're a heavy user, definitely go for this. If you're not such a heavy user, have a little think about it. Take in mind what we've seen in the video today. And if you have any comments, leave them below and I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. I've been Mark Brown for editorskeys.com, and thank you for watching.